Good afternoon, everyone. We are Podify, and this is our business plan presentation. As you can see on the screen, there is our firm's logo with our tagline in it, Learning for Everyone. My name is Yap Payment, and I am one of the co-founder of Podify, followed by other co-founders, Tanes, Haru, Rachel, and Yanni. Today, I will be presenting the needs and trends we identify and the solution to address the gap we found in it. With our passion toward podcasts, we identified that the popularity of podcasts is increasing. According to an article by Forbes, which is a business magazine, the podcast listeners and advertisers' intention in podcasts are increasing. It is estimated to reach 125 million of podcasts listened per month in 2022. Companies and firms are highly interested in advertising their products and services through podcasts as podcast listeners are more concentrated and value the content of podcasts more. However, there is a lack of awareness of podcasts in Malaysia, which makes it a great opportunity for new market penetration. In Malaysia, the working environment is getting more and more competitive. Therefore, most of the Malaysians will seek for self-learning in extra knowledge to gain a competitive advantage. With the fact that podcast is proven an effective learning tool, we identify that there is a need for Malaysians to fulfill their needs of learning effectively with the educational podcast application. In order to address the gap we mentioned before, we are now providing an educational podcast application, which is a mobile application, therefore makes it very accessible and convenient to use. Users could just listen to educational podcasts anywhere and anytime. We also have specially designed user interface, which is produced according to survey conducted from our target customers. Besides that, Podify apply collaborative filtering system which will recommend a new podcast based on user preference. In addition, the quality of podcast is assured in Podify as it is selected and filtered by our system. Lastly, Podify would collaborate with successful leaders, entrepreneurs, and influencers to provide exclusive podcasts for our users.
Moving on to Podify's opportunity and target market, Podify is a business idea that was developed after noticing a few environmental trends in the industry. First, thanks to the technological advancement, information sharing has now become simpler as ever. People no longer have to stop what they're doing and physically travel to different locations. Instead, they can just log on to their device to obtain information. Besides that, the shift in social forces is also a significant contributor to the idea. Studies have shown that as a result of the pandemic, individuals are now inspired to set new objectives and form new habits. For example, individuals now place a high value on self-development, whereby they continuously look for new methods to increase their knowledge and better themselves. Nevertheless, in today's economy, busy culture is a huge trend in which people are busier than ever and have little time to spare to perform anything else. In light of these factors, Podify was designed to target these busy yet knowledge-seeking individuals in the hopes of providing them with an effective learning solution.
The two technological advancements that have been used in Podify app are AI transcript and collaborative filtering. AI transcript will convert the human speech into text and generate automatic subtitles. Secondly, the collaborative filtering will analyze and compass users' listening patterns and also determines common interest and make recommendation for the users. The three key success factor of our Podify app. Firstly, detailed understanding of target audience. The quantity of listeners is frequently used to gauge a podcast's success. However, whether the program has 3,000 or 3 million listeners per month, podcast industry need to make sure that the content and organization are appropriate for the target audience. Spotify and YouTube have their podcast in their application, but podcast is not their major channel to target their audiences. Thus, Podify can take this opportunity to expand the podcasting market. Secondly, diverse and informative content. Listeners of podcasts frequently seek out a knowledgeable viewpoint that delves deeper into a subject. Instead of just using it as a marketing tool, for instance, Podify not only focuses on lifestyle-related content, yet also the automotive sector, specifically electric vehicles, and more specifically, their impact on the transition to carbon fiber future. Rather than creating content for a large business like manufacturing, by doing this, Podify can share insights with its audience and truly resonate. It's critical for Spotify to adapt to constantly shifting flow of discourse the audience wants and to hear during disruptive and uncertain times. Being a dependable source of interesting and diverse information will encourage loyalty and trust, which will increase the effect of podcasts. Lastly, marketing strategy. Podcast platform editing software and recording equipment are important factors in podcast quality, as it's also critical to give branding and promotion of the show major priority. Resonance of the message will be improved if there is a logo or soundtrack that the listeners associate with the show. The advertisements, social media posts, websites, and other collateral ought to support the show's brand identity and increase audience recall. Promotion can aid in brand awareness among prospective guests and assist in getting in front of the target audience. Thus, Spotify will be successful by using different marketing strategies. Now, I'm going to talk about the type of competitors and the competitors. Direct competitors are Google Podcasts, the indirect competitors are Spotify, and the future competitors are YouTube Music. Google Podcast is one of the few podcast apps in Malaysia that is free of charge and is available to anyone who has a Google account. This makes them the direct competitor. And Spotify is one of the world's top music podcast apps that allow users to stream millions of songs and content from all over the world, which makes them the indirect competitors. And lastly, YouTube Music just began incorporating podcast area on its Explore page in 2022, enabling users to access free podcast content. And this makes them the future competitors. Hottest 5 forces model. The threat of new entrants are high, the threats of substitutes are medium, the bargaining power of buyers are high, and bargaining power of suppliers are low. And lastly, the rivalry among existing competitors are high.
Moving on to Podify's marketing mix. In terms of product, Podify's core product is the educational podcast on their app. Like other podcast apps, Podify mainly emphasizes on educational content, providing consumers with a diverse product selection of different academic subjects. Next, the promotional strategy Podify focuses on is advertising, as it is a new startup company that requires high brand awareness. To illustrate, the main channel Podify will use is social media, such as social media ads as well as influencer marketing. Moving on, for the distribution strategy, Podify plans to be marketed online, in which customers can locate and download the podcast app on digital distribution platforms such as App Store and Google Play. Lastly, in terms of pricing strategy, the freemium strategy will be adopted. To demonstrate, Podify will provide 2 listening options. The first being a basic user in which customers are not charged but cannot skip through ads and podcasts. And the alternative to become a premium member, which requires consumers to pay a small fee in exchange for unlimited skips and ad-free viewing. The overall marketing strategy Podify will employ is digital advertising, particularly social media marketing. In today's industry, social media has become something most individuals are familiar with. Thereby, in light of the large audience, Podify believes that social media is the best way to improve brand exposure and recognition. Additionally, this marketing strategy also enables customer engagement, in which Podify can engage with their customers using interactive and interesting ads and posts, in turn leading to increase in traffic and awareness.
So let me explain about managing team. As a managing team, we have 5 members. As you can see from the picture, we have CEO, CFO, CMO, and CTO. And let me explain each member briefly. As a CEO, we have Tanis, and he has experience in F&B industry. As he used to manage restaurants, so he can be ultimate decision maker for our operations. And as a CEO, we have Yapei Moon. She used to work as admin in education-related company, and she can plan and implement business strategies and monitor daily operations. And as a CFO, we have Tanya Ni, and she was used to be a business owner, so she can manage all the financial activities, I believe. And as far as CMO is concerned, Kofi can be our CMO because she used to work as she has a work experience as a part-time sales, and she can supervise and evaluate advertising and sales strategies. And as far as I'm concerned, I can be CTO as I have 1 year of experience of research in tech-related companies. Now, our company structure is flat, so we can respond quickly. This can, which can be our strengths. But In other words, we have no experience of startups, so which can be our weakness. And as far as board of directors is concerned, we have Samuel Daniel, who graduated with a master's degree in political science from University of California, and who has more than 10 years of experience as legal counsel. This is because our service needs to respect the rights from each perspective of Spotify users, podcasters, and our firm. And as a board of advisors, we do not require any members immediately, but as you can see from the table, we still have the skill gap in terms of franchise operations. As far as we have no experience of franchise operations, at this stage we may require somebody to be advice for us. So an advisory board can be set up on this stage.
Podify will earn its revenue mainly from users' pay subscription to the mobile app. Customers are charged on a recurring basis for the podcast service. The creators act as individuals who produce content for the platform. When users are attracted to a certain creator, naturally they will support the creator by subscribing to his or her podcast. Therefore, Podify earn money through paid subscription. In the mobile app, in-app advertising is also used to earn money. In other words, ad buyers pay Podify for displaying ads within the app. The slides below show the total fixed cost, total variation cost, and a break-even analysis. A conservative estimation of 35,000 paid subscription users will be incurred to achieve break-even for the company. The selling price is 15 ringgit 90 cent, which the variable cost per unit will be 4 ringgit 77 cent, which is charged by the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Based on the financial projection, Podify will need to sell or attempt 2,872 units in order to break even in the first year. This is because Podify as a startup will also need to fund its innovation costs and development costs. It is expected that the break-even point will decrease in the subsequent years.
So as you can see from the process breaking down structure, we almost finished every activity except application development. So what we have to do before launch of our business is shown in the milestones. As you can see the table, we have to rent our facilities, including our office and any tools necessary for application development. We also need to negotiate with podcasters so that they can post their podcast to our platform. And we also need to finish our prototype as soon as possible so that we can try a beta test and also modification after this. And one of the key activities for us is to obtain critical financing.
Moving on to financial side, because Podify is a startup company, the funds and means were through the 5 founders as bootstrapping, with each founder contributing 140,000 ringgit, with a total of 70,000 ringgit. A 5-year bank loan method is also used to raise funds. With the use of loans and personal contributions, each founder will be committed to doing their very best in the business in order to negate the burden of the loan taken. The high target will be to repay the loan taken within 5 years in order to avoid being a burden to the company. Additional net revenue earned will be used to fund other parts of the company in terms of expansions and continuous research and development. Looking at the data below showing how the money was utilized in the operation. For the fixed cost, 31,960 ringgit was used. Example of fixed costs including fixed advertisement to reach more customers, rental and business registration fee. For the variable cost, 67,400 ringgit was used. For instance, utilities in electricity and water usage, commission rate of Apple App Store and Google Play Store, and also creators and employees' salaries. The new innovation cost used 500 ringgit, which includes app testing, technical consultation, and miscellaneous. The project development cost used 64,100 ringgit, which includes tools such as app setup and development, AI transition, and collaborative filtering and company website setup. In total, it amounts to 163,960 ringgit. That's all from me. Thank you.
So as a conclusion, these are key factors for our business plan. Due to them, we strongly believe we can carry out our business idea. Our mission is to provide a diverse range of educational podcasts which helps knowledge seekers to attain valuable information and experience effectively. Thank you.